What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be your review of Sistas season 1, episode 20,005. I don't know, 24. So we start this episode off. Oh man, we start this episode off where we left off last week, with them arresting Gary. But come to find out, the police officer made a mistake. He said, "I'm arresting you for murder." He was supposed to say attempted murder, but nonetheless, he got arrested. Sabrina comes in as they're taking him out of handcuffs, and Sabrina's like, "Yo, Andy, what's good?" And Andy ends up, these long drawn out Tyler Perry scenes, but basically she ends up telling her what happened with the accident and how he, accidentally knocked the woman off the ledge. And of course, Sabrina is like, accidentally, like, how did he accidentally throw her off of a ledge? Like, what's good? She was like, is he putting his hands on you? And Andy was like, no, he's not. No, he's not putting his hands on me. I would never let somebody put their hands on me again. I mean, put their hands on me. And Sabrina was like, you mean again? And we found out that Andy was in an abusive relationship back in college. And so, of course, they had to address that, honey. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. So of course they had to hash that out about, and she was like, "But I got away, and I'm never gonna let a man do that again." And then here come Morris ass showing up at the hospital, and he's telling Sabrina, "Did your friend tell you what he did? He tried to kill her. He tried to kill her, and he's gonna do the same thing to you." And da 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 da. And of course they end up getting back into it, and he end up calling Andy a damn, calling her a hoe, honey. I mean a bitch. Called her a bitch. So then he went to go visit the wife, because of course she's not dead and she's wide awake, and whatever. Morris comes back and says, "Look, she wants to see you." And Andy was like, "What you mean she wants to see me?" And he was like, "She wants to see you. Why?" "I don't know. She wants to talk to you." And see, here's where Andy keeps entertaining these mugs, because I wouldn't have went in there. I don't give a damn what she got to say to me. I don't care what. I wouldn't have gone in there. Especially after the man just called me a whole bitch. Are you serious right now? Hell no, I ain't going in there. I don't want to know what she got to say, and fuck you. That's how I would have been. Now, Sabrina actually was walking away, and I'm thinking to myself, Sabrina, you gonna sit there and let your girl, like, you already saw how this dude interacted with her. You gonna let her sit there and deal with this dude again? But what happened was Sabrina was actually standing at the door looking in to see what was going on. And basically the wife was like, "You see me? You see what he did to me?" And she was like, "Here go Andy. It was an accident." He was like, she said, "If I accidentally fell on my back, why I got all these bruises on my face? Like, explain that to me. Explain it to me." And so of course Andy's like, he didn't do that to you. And Morris talking about something. This is what he did to her, and that's what he gonna do to you. And you see the kind of man that he is. You see the kind of person he is. And I'm just like, again, why are you entertaining it, Andy? And why? Anyway, so then Sabrina, she gonna say, "Well, who's that in the window?" And he gonna say, "Oh, that's her friend." So then she gonna start yelling, "You see me? You see what he's gonna do to her? He's gonna do the same thing to your friend." And I'm just like, child. Anyway, extra, extra, and more extra. So then we have this scene with Sherry, I think I called what's the face's mama Marie last week. I think her name is Lisa. But we see Lisa meeting up with Zach. And she's basically talking to Zach, and an extension of the conversation they had last week about, Zach, get your shit together. So she ends up inviting. Now, what I thought was very interesting, though, because she said, "Well, Zach, whatever happened to you wanting to have your barbershop?" And Zach was like, "Well, the first thing your daughter said was, you won't be working in my shop. I don't want to spend that much time with you." And Lisa was like, "Okay, and well, I mean, then um um but then she started complaining about me not bringing enough money in the house, so I started focusing on working, and I was picking up shifts, and I was working like 16 hours a day." And Lisa was like, "And that's what men do." And I'm thinking to myself, 16 hours is quite excessive. How he gonna go to barber school and get his degree if he is working 16 hours a day? Like, that is a lot. And then, when your significant other says, "Hey, this is what I want to do," and your first response wasn't, "Well, let me see if I can hook you up. Let me find some connections. I got friends that are barbers." Your first response is, "Well, you ain't working in my shop." Like, I would feel a little beat up and discouraged too. Like, I ain't saying Zach is all right, but Zach ain't all wrong either. So then she ends up inviting her boyfriend, who's 34 years old. He had been to jail. He owns his own construction company now. And so she brought him in there to motivate Zach, and I guess basically so Zach can stop feeling sorry for himself and let him see that just because you went to jail doesn't mean that you are destined to just work minimum wage the rest of your life. Like, you can do some things, you can make some money, you can, do some things with your life. So they end up, first Zach got a little attitude, but then they kind of get it together and they kind of work it out, motivated, whatever. Um, okay, so we're down to um we're down to Karen's house with Aaron. Her and Aaron are finishing up dinner, and she goes to wash the dishes, and Aaron takes the dishes from her, and she's like, I ain't never had a man wash the dishes for me before. And I'm just like, why do you take every opportunity to talk about all the things that Zach wasn't? Like, you were clearly with him for a reason. But anyway, she then goes on to explain to Aaron the relationship between her and Zach, how he cheated on her, and this, and this, and that. So then he said, what kind of man do you want? And so she starts, describing her ideal man, you know, a man that's gonna do this, a man that's gonna do that, a man that's gonna do this. And all of a sudden, he just reaches over and he kisses her because he was like, I'm that man. That is me. You're describing me. So they get the kissing and everything. And she stops him. And he's like, look, I'm ready to throw everything away. Because remember, we're supposed to still be remembering that he's a preacher, right? And she said, well, look, it's not just you. It's me, too. Because, it's been a long time since I've been with somebody other than my ex. And he was like, well, how long? She said, well, I was celibate before we hooked up. And so it's been at least 3 years. And I'm thinking to myself, well, how the hell long were you with Zach? And how long were you celibate before Zach? Because 3 years just seemed like a long time for all the shit that it seemed like you and Zach done been through. Like, how many times he done cheated on you? Because let's go back to the beginning. We know Tyler likes to forget storylines and he forget what the hell he said. And I know it was 20 episodes ago, but let's go back to the first episode. This wasn't the first time this man had cheated on you. So I'm like, how much you done put up with from this man in 3 years? Like, Zach, I like you and all, but I don't like you that much that you done cheated on this woman multiple times. But anyway, next thing you know, honey, they get the kissing and rubbing. They all on the kitchen table again. And who comes walking in the door? Sabrina, because Sabrina left the hospital, honey, and she is worried about Andy. So Aaron ends up leaving, and Karen ends up telling Sabrina about what was going on down to the hospital. And of course, Karen, she's nervous, but she ain't, y'all know Sabrina is like, and Karen is a lot more like, okay, we're gonna handle it. And of course, she's trying to call Andy, and she's not getting an answer. But she tells Sabrina, look, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. We're going to get it together. We're going to figure it out. But of course, Samantha's like, she said, I got to get back to my apartment because I done left Calvin ass in the bed sleep. He was drunk, but I'm sure he going to roll over any minute now and realize I ain't there. I'm like, y'all just, how long you been gone? And you done left the man in your apartment sleep in your bed? Like, really? Did you leave a note? A text? Something? Now, in the meantime and in between time, remember Andy was supposed to meet the detective down to the bar, and she didn't already call the detective and told the detective she don't think she gonna make it, and the detective was like, well, you're gonna want to hear what I have to say. And Andy was just like, whatever. Why is it, Andy has a really bad habit of taking her anger out on the wrong people, because like she goes down to the courthouse and the police officer really wasn't nasty to her. I mean, in the end he was a little creepy, but in the beginning he really wasn't being nasty to her, and she had a whole attitude with him just because Gary's wife then sent an email to the whole damn police department with a picture of you talking about some this the hoe that stole my husband. That wasn't the police officer's fault. Ain't no need getting an attitude with him. He ain't do it. Now, he was a little creepy for giving you his business card and asking you out on a date. That was a little creepy. But it was not his fault that the wife didn't let everybody know who the hell you were. So they bring Gary in there. And Gary's looking for a lawyer, and she's like, well, I had a perfectly good lawyer until your ass ran him away because you was mad. I was jealous. Okay, well, you need a lawyer. Why can't you do it? Because that ain't my forte. I'm out of my wheelhouse. Like, I don't do criminal law. Like, you need a serious criminal attorney. Okay, fine. Can you call him then? Can you call him? And then he said, well, did my business partner my business manager call you? I knew then. I said, nope. Nope. Don't do it. Nope. Whatever he getting ready to ask you to do, Andy, don't you do it. Honey, he asked, can he transfer some money into her account? First of all, that is divorce 101. You think that they not going to know and it's not going to be obvious that he just transferred money at the last minute into your damn account? Like, stop it. And how hard do you think it's going to be for her divorce attorney to find the money in your account? Girl, no. Don't you see? That's what people go to jail for. Don't you start playing around with transferring money and all that. No, no, no. But y'all know dumbass. See, Andy, you too dumb to be this smart. Or is it you too smart to be this dumb? Either way, neither here nor there, honey. Neither here nor there. She lets him do it. So they done transfer money into her account. So now she goes to meet with the the private detective. And of course they got to do the whole lesbian thing again. I'm not doing that. But the private detective lets Andy know, look, this was a setup from the beginning. Morris and the wife have been planning this all along because she wanted to get out of the marriage and da-da-da-da-da, blah, blah, blah. She said, even down to your boss. Andy was like, what my boss got to do with this? She said, oh, he was a part of the whole thing. And of course now Andy is like, what? Oh yeah, he was a part of the whole thing. It was a setup from the beginning. It was a setup from the word go, boo. They set you up from the beginning. So, and then she ends up giving the private eye ends up giving Andy all the information she needs. And Andy was like, well, why are you doing this? She was like, because the man owe me money. But what I would have said is, I've been trying to tell you, but you've been acting real stank about it. Because this woman, this private detective has been trying to warn Andy from the beginning. But Andy's been so damn nasty towards this woman and giving this woman such a bad... I wouldn't have told her shit either. Now, I know the woman was flirting with Andy and she was kind of coming to Andy a little bit. But hell, the woman said she had some information for you and that you need to watch your back. Like, the woman kept hinting that she knew something. So, she been trying to tell you, Andy. But, honey, then she gave Andy all the documentation. And then she going to say to Andy, and if you ever, you know, wherever you land, if you ever need a good private eye, I'm really good at what I do. Andy going to say, thank you for the information, but I would never hire you. Bitch, Andy, can't you just say thank you and walk the hell away? At the end of the day, I get it that the woman been flirting with you. But all you got to do is say, look, I appreciate what you did for me. And, yep, I owe you one. And wherever I land, I got you. But you're gonna have to back up off me. I don't like it. It makes me uncomfortable. But I do owe you. This woman just basically saved your whole fucking career. Anyway, that's it, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. They said the finale is in 2 weeks. Thank God. All right. Peace. Dang, y'all. I forgot the last part. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe I forgot. Oh, boy done came up on Karen. The brother that Aaron's mother-in-law warned her about, why he done broke up into Karen's apartment and had a big-ass knife and is trying to kill her. That's where the episode really did end. I can't believe I forgot that, y'all. My bad. My bad. Peace.